here. And here we go. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is going over a mock-up of my website, go through a couple of basic steps and try to get a feel for how intuitive the site is or is not, just your general impressions of it. You'll use the mouse almost as if you would on a regular website, but not everything will actually go someplace and you can't click on everything the way you would normally. I'm specifically looking for your impressions as a user of the site, so don't feel like you have to be a web designer, a photographer, an artist. I just want to know how you feel about it, if you like it or don't, the things you don't like about it and do. I'll ask you some questions about it as we go along. But there's no wrong answers to anything, and any information you can provide me helps me make the site better, so it's all good information and good feedback. So don't be shy and speak your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have a computer, and if so, what kind?
Yeah, it's just a PC.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I have to. And do you know what kind of web browser you use?
Chrome.
Chrome. Excellent. And so what we're going to do here is go through the process of viewing a gallery of the photos on the site, and then picking a photo you like, and ideally selecting an image you'd like to purchase. Hooray, because you think my photography is awesome.
Okay.
So what we're starting on here is a page that shows all of the galleries. If I can get that, there we go. So it's a page that shows you all the galleries, and can you just tell me what you think of the layout of the page, just any general impressions you have of it?
I like the fact that they all have thumbnails, that their picture's not a list. I would like to see something like more of a title that lets me know what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Rather than gallery numbers, like Europe. Europe is good. Gallery 2 isn't quite as helpful.
Fair enough.
Can I click?
Yep. There you go.
The sticky mouse.
Yeah, sorry, only one of them is actually live.
Oh, okay, which one?
Unfortunately, it's the one you liked. So there we go. Okay, so now that you're actually in the gallery, this would be as if you'd click just like you did into one of the galleries, and now you're looking at images from that gallery. And again, just tell me what you think of this layout.
I will say that given experience on social media sites, it would seem to make sense if there were a button here so I could click through them rather than having the list of images on the left. Though it is nice that I can see all of them. I mean, that's a plus. I would have on the images themselves, I would have maybe a little more attribution. Like that's Europe, but like what is it? It's cobbles someplace, Paris. I don't know. It's a cool shot, but I'd like to know like a little more context about it. It might give it a little more meaning.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I actually, yeah, I do like that I can see all of the photos. If there were more photos, would there be like a scrolling list?
It's interesting you say that. So let's assume for a second that image 3 was an image that you liked and would like to maybe see more of. Let's just assume you like it. What would you do at this point?
I would click on it.
And now you can't quite see because it's a little smaller, but this is that image blown up a little bit.
Oh, that's pretty.
And again, just explain this thing in the lower right is what you were talking about. It's not populated with images, but it would be a sort of thumbnails of all the images that you would be able to scroll through.
Is that why it has all the little picture papers? Like theoretically, I could. Oh, okay.
Like the cover flow on a Mac that lets you browse through like album covers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
It's the same basic principle. Again, because this is a mock-up that's not live, but that's what it would be.
I like that. I like that there's a choice to add to favorites. Because if I'm going to purchase photography and I'm looking through a lot of images, I may want to just scroll through and pick favorites and then go back and decide which ones I want.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the add to favorites and the purchase print right here as though it's part of the list. I feel like I might want it, I don't know, more centrally located. It looks like it's one of the pictures when it's right here.
Okay. Would you want it more central or more separated so that there was sort of a layout of the images, and then independent of that, there was maybe a place where you could click to purchase the
like a sidebar of some kind?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And nothing specific, but just like you'd said, instead of being gathered with the images themselves, maybe have it someplace a little bit.
Yeah, just be separated, whether it was up at the top like a lot of websites do, or whether it was in a sidebar. I would say up at the top, because I don't know if you have enough choices to make a whole sidebar, because obviously part of what you want here is to have the images be the majority of the screen.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me take a step back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that what you would want to see here, or is that what you think I would want to see as the purveyor of the site?
Oh, well, I mean both, because I mean this is what you're selling and this is what I'm looking at. I mean, I want to see the pictures. I want to see as much picture as possible.
Okay. To that note, if you were looking at the screen and let's say you wanted to see it more, is there anything that you would do here?
I would maybe double. Does that work? Well, hell, yes, that is what I would do. I would, because I mean that's kind of intuitive for mouse users at this point. If you want to see more of something or make it bigger, you click on it, and that is exactly what happened, which I like.
Excellent. Okay, so and now that you've again, it's a little shrunk down, but you've blown it up to be able to see it a little bit better, and now you want to do. Let's assume for a second that you decided you want to purchase it. What would you do from this point?
I would guess that I would come down and click off it to get back to the...
Now, in a live site that actually would work, in this one I have to... it's actually the...
Oh, do you have to do a thing?
You just have to click on it again. But you're right, the clicking outside of it would also
I would click off it. And that actually... But to go back to this being right here, the purchase and favorites buttons, if we had the purchase and favorites buttons outside of the whole image thing, then I wouldn't necessarily need to click out of the picture in order to add it to favorites or buy it, which would be cool.
Okay. Good to know. Okay, but now that you're back on this site, again, if you were going to purchase it, I know the mouse is a little wonky.
Yeah, the mouse is a little slow. Yeah, so I just plop on that. Okay, this is not, this is a pretty reasonably set up thing. It makes it extremely obvious what I have to fill out. I like that you give me a little hint here. This is how this would happen best, because you're the photographer, so presumably you know how this is meant to look, but you give us customized options, which is nice. You give us the choice of having different shipping, which is great. Thank you for making the default free shipping. Some websites don't do that, and it's really annoying. So you fill out the shipping info and the billing info. The one thing I would say is if shipping info and billing info need to be different, like if the billing info were to be billed to me at my home and I wanted it to be shipped to my work, sometimes sites have a separate spot for address, which might be helpful. But yeah, other than this, I like this setup. It reminds me what it is I'm buying. It gives me different shipping options. It gives me photographer's hints and gives me a place to put my name and pay for things. And it has a great big checkout button, not like the Amazon one where you're not sure where you're clicking. No, I like this page.
Excellent. All right. Hang on 1 second. I have a couple of follow-up questions. And this. Okay. Now we can go back through this again if you'd like to any of the pages, if there's something you want to look at in more detail. But having gone through the process, are there any aspects of it that you didn't like or you found confusing or difficult to understand?
Not difficult to understand. Besides the placement of the favorite and purchase options being slightly awkward,
Mm-hmm.
that was really the only thing that I would have changed as a user. Everything seems to be where it's supposed to be. I don't know if any of the stuff along the top is working, the other menus.
They don't in this mock-up.
They don't in
No.
this. Okay, but yeah, like if I wanted to see, presumably if I clicked on one of those pages, there would be a couple of samples and information on how to get a portrait done or custom work done.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like it.
Excellent. Are there things you did just mention that you would like to see more? If you clicked on that link, you'd see custom work or portraiture, that kind of thing. But beyond that, and the things you'd mentioned, is there anything that you'd like to see that you didn't see on the site, or maybe a feature that you'd like that you didn't see available to you?
Just homework. No.
I can
Yes,
bring you back to.
I'm just wondering if you have. We started on the gallery page. I'm wondering if the home page would have like a little about section or something.
Yes. Again, sorry, this is a mock-up. So
Oh, of course.
Anything, but yeah.
And the
But okay, that's good to know.
The behind the scenes. I think that's great. I think that's a great feature. Pictures of the photographer are something we almost never get to see, so I think that's actually a really great feature. My uncle was a photographer, and we have so much of his great work, but we never have pictures of him.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I think that's really cool.
Good to know. That's good to know. And on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the least pleasant and 5 being the most pleasant, dreamy experience one can have with an image gallery, how would you rate the experience of navigating this?
Oh, super easy to navigate. I would say I would give it a 4.5 only because of the awkward placement of the purchase button.
Okay.
But everything's pretty clear. The excuse me, the images are a great size. It's easy to see what you're doing.
Okay, excellent. Before you lose a lot. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
And let me see if I can stop this.